Welcome to NBA 2K20, and thanks for joining us. Today, we are going to discuss three-point shooting tips. Now, I assume that you're all probably aware of how to fill up the shot meter, and that the closer you are to the meter, the better your chances are of making it, so we're not going to discuss that in detail. You may or may not be aware that each player does have a hot zone. So if you're in that player's hot zone, your chances of making the shot go up. Also, how much the shot is contested will have an impact as well. What we are going to focus on for the remainder of this video is how to get better looks at the basket, preferably open shots or not well contested shots, or a good shooter in a hot zone versus a softer defense. Situations like that. So let's go ahead and get started. One of my favorite ways to get open is to use the icon pass. That can be done by pushing R1, and if you don't like what you see, you can push R1 to turn it off. In this case, we are going to be looking for the guy with the circle button. All we need to do is wait for him to get open and throw the ball there. There, he's open right there, and we're going to take a wide open three-point shot and knock it down. Now, there are a couple tips I have on the icon pass. Obviously, you need to find players with good three-point ratings. If you're finding them, you're going to have, a decent chance of executing the play successfully. Another point I would make is that getting open, of course, is going to depend a decent amount on a player's basketball IQ. The higher a player's basketball IQ, the better chance you're going to have of getting that player open in the right spot for a three-point attempt. You're also going to need a good ball handler. Doesn't have to be great, but you want somebody that can distribute the ball nicely. As you see, we got an open shot right there. So, yeah, the icon pass is a pretty cool feature. And, of course, if you don't like what you have, you can always hit R1 to turn it off, or you can take a shot. The next move right here is called the hop gather. This is most effective against a defender that's given you a little bit of space, and works good when you're like a step or two in front of the three-point line, because what you're going to do is step back and knock down a three. How do you do it? Well, first off, you're going to hold down the R2 button. Now, in this case, we want to hop gather to the left, so we're going to take the R3 or right analog stick and move it down to the southwest, and we're going to hold it down until the shot meter fills up, and then we release it. So you want to hold it till that shot meter fills up and then release it for a good shot there. Now conversely, you can also do a hop gather to the right. In this case, how do you do that? Well, same setup here. You're going to hold down the R2 button, and as you're holding that down, you're going to take the right analog stick and hold it down to the southeast until the shot meter fills up, and we get off another good three-point shot right there. In addition to the hop gather, there's another move you can make when you're standing near the three-point line. It's called the circle pass. Okay, let's take a look at the mechanics behind the circle pass. All you have to do, of course, is find a spot to set up, hold down the circle button, and then release it to pass. The more difficult thing is going to be getting that shot off, as the circle pass is pretty easy to execute. Now, getting a good pass in the right spot is a little more challenging, and of course, so is finding a good shooter to pass the ball to. Another way to get open is to set a pick. To set a pick, you're simply going to press down L1, and if you don't like the side your guy is setting the pick to, you can always push in the L3 or left analog stick right there. Here, we're going to set a pick, and we are going to dribble with our dribble hand to the side of the pick and knock down a nice open three right there. In this example right here, we are going to combine a pick with a dribbling move called the crossover. As you can see right here, we have the ball in the left hand, and we call for a pick. The pick is to the right. Now we could try to drive to the left, but we want to take a 3-point shot here, but our dribble hand's on the wrong side. What do? We do the crossover dribble by simply taking the R3 or right analog stick and moving it to the right to crossover dribble. Now we have an open shot, and we knock down a nice 3 there. A more advanced version of the pick and roll is the pick fade, where you take advantage of the guy setting the pick, who also happens to be a good 3-point shooter. Let's walk through the mechanics here. Of course, the first thing you're going to do is push L1. Now that we have that, what we want to do next is push R1 to change the roll to a fade. Then we're going to move through the pick like we normally do, and then we'll pass it out to the fading pick setter if he's open, and hopefully knock down a nice 3 like this one right here. Sometimes you end up taking a wide open 3 because you took what the defense gave you. You were trying to drive the ball down low, but it didn't work out, and you decided to go to plan B, which is kick the ball out to an open shooter. Here we have the ball down low, and we got 1, 2, 3 guys on us. Not the best idea to shoot. Okay, we're going to pass it out to the shooter right here, and he knocks down an open 3. In this situation right here, we are going to take advantage of the icon pass, that is by pressing R1. While we're dribbling inside, we notice that X is open, so we decide to wait till he goes out and pass it to him for a wide open 3. In closing, what I would say is you want to try to be smart on when and where you take your 3s. You want to try to keep them high percentage. You want to have a good shooter. And you want to set up your 3-point to fit the defense, if that's the open shot. Now, sometimes there's other open shots. You can just drive to the basket. But when you got the opportunity, you might as well take advantage of it and knock down a few extra 3s. And, of course, that is going to wrap this up. I am signing out. Thank you for watching, and good luck.